17-0. I am, as a Chiefs fan, I would be, well, I am a Chiefs fan, but I would be questioning life like at this point. Like, we are going to really give this away again, the AFC Championship game, but at least we didn't have D4 to line up offside. So that is a positive. But then the Kansas City Chiefs answer back with a 10-play, 74-yards of their own with the Tyreek Hill touchdown. It was a little touch pass. It was basically a reverse with the push pass that they like to run nowadays. Tyreek Hill running at 4.1, 4.2 speed, whatever he has, hits 25 miles an hour for 8 yards and gets in the end zone. 10-7 score. I'm okay with this. But then the Tennessee Titans turn around and score again. Another 15-play drive, another milking of the clock, 75 yards. This drive was 9 minutes long. Ryan Tannehill did throw a touchdown pass, a 1-yard little touchdown pass. Makes it 17-7. I'm okay with this. Because as a Chiefs fan, we saw it last week, down 24 points. Our offense is starting to show some life, yada, yada, yada. And then we just go dry. We are the best second quarter team in the NFL, and we just can't find it. We cannot find it at all. Luckily, Tyreek Hill comes to the rescue again. 5 plays, 63-yard drive, couple minutes off the clock, 20-yard pass. Makes it 17-14, I should say. Tennessee Titans winning. I'm okay with this, I think. Then it gets to all the way through the second quarter. It's a drought. I am not confident 17-14 going into halftime. Or I should say 24-14 going into halftime. Tennessee Titans are driving down the field. Luckily, the defense finally steps up and makes a big stop. Patrick Mahomes drives down the field with like 10 or 7 seconds left in the first half, makes an amazing run, puts the Chiefs on top 21-17. At that point, I knew the game was over. Patrick Mahomes flexes his little flabby arms in the end zone. He has put this team on his back, and he is ready to just have a great second half. So our second quarter might come in the third quarter. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't. Third quarter, both teams blank. So it is 21-17 going into the fourth quarter. I'm confident, but I'm uneasy. Yes, I did tell you this is exactly how the game was going to go. I thought it was going to be 28-24 going to midway into the fourth quarter. Chiefs put on a couple late touchdowns, but clearly that is, I'm pretty close to right on. But Damian Williams, to start the fourth quarter, plunges it into the end zone for a 3-yard run, makes it 28-17. Basically, the Chiefs don't look back at it at that point. Very next drive, Tennessee Titans go 3-and-out in the fourth quarter. Then the Chiefs start to Tennessee Titans, the Titans, meaning they have put in some great drives. Their final touchdown drive was 7 plays, 88 yards for 4 minutes. Sammy Watkins, 60-yard touchdown pass. This drive would have gone a lot longer, but Sammy Watkins is a pretty darn good wide receiver. Hits him in stride. Boom. 35-17. At this point, I feel the game is pretty much wrapped up. And pretty much what I said it was going to be. It was going to be a close game, 28-24, going to midway fourth quarter. Score was a little wrong, 28-17. Chiefs have blown it open. Titans tack on a late touchdown to Frisker's 22-yard touchdown pass. Good drive. 8 plays, 80 yards, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. But that is not what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about is the Kansas City Chiefs out-tightening the Titans. Look at their scoring drives that they had. They had 10 plays, 74 yards, 5 plays, 63 yards. That drive, I believe, started on the 40 of the Tennessee Titans, so they didn't have very far to go. Next drive, 9 plays, 86 yards. Next scoring drive, 13 plays, 73 yards. and then a 7-play, 88 yards. The Kansas City Chiefs, I have to applaud Andy Reid's play calling in this game. That has been the biggest knock on Andy Reid ever since he was at Philly was, his butthole puckers at the game time, and his play calling sucks. But the play calling in this AFC Championship game was pretty darn good, and I applaud him for that. Hopefully he can continue that momentum into the Super Bowl and get a win for the Kansas City Chiefs. Before we get too carried away into the rest of the show, guys, the phone lines are open, 502-771-0364. Feel free to call into the show, voice your opinions, voice your thoughts. We are here for another 45 minutes or so, so definitely jump in the phone lines if you guys want to express your thoughts on today's show. Kind of football related here in the first two segments. In the second segment, we will get into some NCAA basketball talk. Now, the play calling on Andy Reid was a very good success. I mean, I feel it is easy to play calls when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. Is he the greatest of all time? We don't know. He has a 2-season body of work. Yes, he's 3 years in the league, but he's played 2 full seasons. You cannot call somebody the greatest after 2 seasons. It just doesn't work like that. Was he the best quarterback in the league this year? You can say that. He has definitely been the best quarterback in the postseason. Regular season, I think you would probably have to give it to Lamar Jackson. Yes, he led the team to 14-2, yada, yada, yada. But first round exit. I should say first game exit. No surprise there to me. Tim Tebow is a better postseason quarterback than Lamar Jackson is. Take that as you will. But these weapons that the Kansas City Chiefs have, you have to give credit to the front office. They have drafted well. They have built the team well. They stole Patrick Mahomes in the draft. They stole Tyreek Hill. I believe Travis Kelce was like their highest pick of this wide receiver core that they have. Harmon last year, I guess he was like he was a first round pick. I do believe he will do good things. But I was on another show earlier today. I'm not for sure when this will air. Their show, I should say, the Matthew Lyle show. You guys should go check it out. He does good. He does good things here. But the question that he asked me was that, do the Chiefs have more pressure to win now than the other Super Bowl team? And my first thought was like, well, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, that this team wins or loses with Patrick Mahomes. When Patrick Mahomes does good things, does well, throws for a couple touchdowns, 300 yards, maybe rushes for 30 or 40 yards, good things happen. They win a lot of ball games. When he doesn't, they lose. So my first thought was, yes, all the pressure in the world. But now Patrick Mahomes, he has a bright future ahead of him, barring injury. It's got to be more pressure on the coaching staff, to be honest. Eric Bieniemy, he has been a head coaching candidate the last couple of years. I'm not for sure why he hasn't got one. But if Andy Reid loses him, the Chiefs, I'm not saying they'll be horrible by any means. That's no stretch in my imagination. But they'll definitely take a hit. So you definitely have to win now type of situation because the Super Bowl is hard to get to. Guys, these guys have played 16 regular season games and quite possibly 3 in the postseason. Chiefs got lucky, got a first-round bye, so they've only had to play 2 games. You're still looking at 18, 19 games that these guys will be playing. That is a hard on the body. So getting to the Super Bowl, you guys cannot take this with a grain of salt. Yes, there's going to be pressure on Patrick Mahomes to do great things. But at the same time, the window for the Kansas City Chiefs is wide open. They have things happening there. And quite frankly, I couldn't be more ecstatic as a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I'm 32 years old, and I've never seen the Kansas City Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl. Granted, they've only been 2 in the life, and I think, man, my dad was around, but he was like 5 or 6 years old. So it's been a while. Coming from Kansas, you guys will understand this. Like, we don't get a lot of championships there. I'm a Royals fan, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I'm a Kansas State fan. Royals are the only one that really have broke that drought in 2014. I mean, that was from 85 to 2014. So that's the most successful championship-wise franchise in our area, or my team ranks. But guys, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we got to talk how the San Francisco 49ers ran over the Packers. Feel free to call into the show, guys. The phone lines are open, 502-771-0364. This is Just for Clicks, guys, and we will be right back. And welcome back to Just for Clicks, guys. This is Michael Buckhouse. This is live, raw, and uncut sports talk here. If you guys are listening to us live, really appreciate it. We're live on Facebook page, Just for Clicks Facebook page. Go on there and give us a like. Comment on some stuff that we post over there. We post a lot of controversial stuff because this is what we're all about. We are, I guess you can say, the biggest Lamar Jackson haters in the world. Not really, but it is what it is. When the fans put him on this pedestal, sometimes you have to test the pedestal a little bit, see if it's wobbly, and it's been pretty wobbly here as of late. Sorry, fans, that's just the way it is. If you are listening to us on podcast form, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, consider following to that podcast, leaving us a ranking and a comment. I prefer 5 stars, but if it's not, be honest. Say that I suck, and I will improve. I try to improve each and every show for you guys. If you are listening to us on sportstalkchannel.com live as well, welcome. Feel free to call into the show, 502-771-0364. The phone lines are open, and I am willing to have a conversation with you anytime you would like. But, guys, we have talked about the Kansas City Chiefs. And now we have to jump to the other side of the Super Bowl, or the other side of the NFL, I should say, right? What am I trying to say? The other game, there we go. San Francisco 49ers literally ran over the Packers on Sunday night. This game was really not close at any point of the game. Halftime score was 27-0. It was, as a football fan, like passive aggressive, this game was boring for the fans from the start. And the big name, the GOAT, Aaron Rodgers, had 6 completions for 69 yards, I think it was. Jimmy Garoppolo had 6 completions for 44 yards. I felt like we were back in the old days when it was ground and pound. You had Mike Allstott and was it Warwick Dunn back there? They just ran the ball down your throat. Boom, stop us if you can. And the Green Bay Packers could not stop the San Francisco 49ers whatsoever. And it was like the Packers had that mid-season game when, you just don't show up. Like, you have to travel, you have an early game, and you're tired, and you just don't want to be there. And this game happened to them. They just were not there at all. So Mozart, I believe I'm saying his name correctly, scored the first touchdown of the game for the 49ers. It's a 6-play, 89-yard drive. This is going to be a theme here. Robbie Gould kicked a 54-yard field goal to start the second quarter. Mozart, 9-yard touchdown run, makes the score 17-0. Midway through the second, another Robbie Gould field goal makes it 20-0. And then Mozart another 18-yard run to end the second quarter, giving them a 27-0 lead. Packers did not look like they wanted to be there. Aaron Rodgers was fumbling the ball, throwing interceptions, getting sacked, running for his life all game. But third quarter comes around. They had a pretty nice drive, 11-play, 75-yard drive. Aaron Rodgers to Aaron Jones for a 9-yard touchdown pass makes it 27-20. Still not too much, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, yeah. 49ers answer right back. 7 plays, 80 yards. Mozart, 22-yard touchdown run. Makes it 34-7 going into the fourth quarter. I was on my phone. I'm like, this game's over. The commentators were saying this game's over. But then Aaron Rodgers kind of starts to be Aaron Rodgers a little bit. Finally shows up in the fourth quarter. Has a 10-play, 75-yard drive. To finish the drive, Aaron Jones, 1-yard plunge into the end zone. Makes it 34-13. For some reason, they went for a 2-point conversion. If you guys are in the comments below here, let me know of why you think the Packers went for a 2-point conversion there. I mean, even if they did, it was still, a 19-point game at that point? So it doesn't make sense. You're still down 3 scores. It doesn't make sense to me. You have to get a couple onside kicks here. I don't care what the analytics say at that point. It's stupid. Should have just went for the field goal. Would made it 34-14, whatever. So, but they went for 2. They failed. Packers had a good stop, and then they have another great drive. 7-play, 92 yards. Aaron Rodgers, 8-yard touchdown pass to Jace Stranenberger. Makes it 34-20. 8 minutes left in the game. I'm getting kind of excited. I call my aunt. I'm like, hey, is Aaron Rodgers going to come back? I mean, he's only down 14 points here. Is he going to come back? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be the GOAT here? No. The Packers defense can't stop anything. 10 plays, 49 yards. Basically puts a nail in the coffin on the Packers. Robbie Gould kicks a 42-yard field goal, giving the 49ers a 37-20, which ended up being the final. But still, the Packers they played like they're in a midseason slump. They didn't want to be there. They didn't show up. It's just this game was ugly from the get-go. Just after that, just watching the 49ers run up and down the field the way they did in the first half or in the first quarter, yeah, the score was only 7-0, but you knew you never had a feeling that the Packers were ever going to show up in this game. It was almost sad to watch. Like this is the quote GOAT of the NFL, and he looks like he wants to cry and bail on his team. Let's be totally honest. I don't care about not having any weapons on the outside. I don't care about you don't have that big name running back or whatever. He just flat out did not show up and play well. The only way the Packers were going to win this game was he had to be a larger-than-life person, put the team literally on his back, and lead them to the promised land. In the first 3 quarters of this game, he did not. He fumbled. He took sacks. He threw an interception. It was sad to watch. I mean, 6 completions in the first half for Aaron Rodgers. Well, I believe it was 69 yards. That's tough. Now, on the flip side of that, Jimmy G had 6 completions for 44 yards, or was it 5 completions for 44 yards? I mean, so it was a very run-happy 49ers first half, but apparently that's who they are. They like to run the ball, and I mean, I haven't watched a lot of 49ers games this year. I've obviously watched them the last couple weeks, and they have fun playing their style of football, but why give your quarterback so much money if you're not going to use him? That's my biggest question. Why give your quarterback? I got to know how much money he makes, but I think it's over $80 or $90 million. I mean, he's making some money. Use the man, but Is this leverage for them in the future? I don't know. Like, we can touch on this later in the week. I've touched this on some other shows, but it just when Jimmy G 6 for 8 for 77 yards, that's tough. That's tough to watch. I mean, I'm watching some highlights here, and you see Jerry Rice like hooping and hollering. Like I get it. They're going for six champions or 6 Super Bowl rings. Like, I get it. It's good times. 49er fans, I'm happy for you guys. But let's be honest. Do we want another defensive battling Super Bowl? We saw it last year with the so this is almost like a repeat of last year's Super Bowl. You had the high flying Rams. Oh, they're going to put up 50 plus points. You have the Patriots, they're a good defense, run the ball, dink and dunk, and look what we got. Me, as a football advocate, loved that game. It was a good defensive. It was a good strategy game. Defense, like you had to pick your poison. You had to pick, what pawns to sacrifice, type of thing, and it was really exciting to watch. And I don't know if we're ever. I don't think the Chiefs and the 49ers are going to give us that type of Super Bowl. I truly feel like it's either going to be a high-scoring game or it's going to be like what we just saw last week in this NFC Championship game. 49ers are going to rush for 220 yards and throw the ball eight times. It's tough. But it is what it is. Super Bowl is set. San Francisco 49ers traveling to Miami to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm looking forward to it. Not as a Chiefs fan, not as a 49ers fan, but as a football fan. I like the aspect that we have 2 young quarterbacks. Probably the couple biggest names in the NFL, with Patrick Mahomes being obviously the biggest name. Jimmy G, got to be a top 10 name, right? I'm actually going to put a poll up here on my Facebook page. Yes, obviously Patrick Mahomes is the bigger name, but is Jimmy G a bigger staple as Patrick Mahomes? Is he a top 10 or even a top 5? Just name. I'm not saying talent or team wise or whatever. I'm simply talking name notoriety. Because let's just think about this real quick. Like, you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Aaron Rodgers. Then who's after that? Are you going to say Carson Wentz? Are you going to say Jared Goff? I mean, Jimmy G's got to be right there with Goff and Wentz. As far as names, I'm not talking talent. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking talent. I'm talking strictly name notoriety. Like, Jimmy G has to be in the top 10. But regardless of all that, Super Bowl is set. Niners versus Chiefs. We are going to take a quick break here, guys. Join me on the other side of the break. We got to talk a little NCAA football. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Just for Clicks, guys. This is Michael Buckeye. So this is live, raw, and uncut sports talk here on this Monday night. If you guys are here, watch us on the Facebook page. Welcome. Phone lines are open. Feel free to call into the show. 502-771-0364. Be glad to take your call. Talk any sports that you might want to talk about. We've already covered the Chiefs versus Titans. San Francisco 49ers over the Packers like as well. We definitely can jump back into there if you would like to call into the show. I'm open to talk about just about anything. But on the second segment, or the third segment of the show, I should say, we're going to cover a little NCAA basketball. This is the type of year where I feel like basketball really ramps up. I really get heavily invested into basketball. My team, the Kansas State Wildcats, is my number one team. but my wife is a Kentucky fan, Kentucky Wildcats, so I support them as well. So, I'm rooting for both cats. So, but if they would ever to play head-to-head, I got to go with my Kansas State Wildcats. Purple all day long. I'm from Kansas, and yeah, it is what it is. I'm not a bandwagon fan like some people. But AP Top 25 poll did come out today. And at number 1, up 1 from number 2, you had the Baylor Bears. Number 2, Gonzaga. Number 3, Kansas. Number 4, San Diego State. Number 5, Florida State. Number 6, Louisville. Number 7, Dayton Flyers. Number 8, Duke Blue Devils. Number 9, Villanova. Number 10, Seton Hall. 11, you got Michigan State. 12, Oregon. 13, Butler. 14, West Virginia, that my Kansas State Wildcats just beat past weekend. Number 15, Kentucky Wildcats. Tough loss. Another bounce-back win. Number 16, Auburn. 17, Maryland. 18, Texas Tech. Iowa, Memphis, Illinois, Arizona, Colorado, Rutgers, Scarlet Knights at number 24. And around out the top 25, you do have the Houston. I believe they are the Cougars. This is the AP Top 25. Guys, this is not the year that we're going to have a dominant NCAA basketball program. You cannot say the Duke Blue Devils are going to win this season, without a doubt. I don't know what the biggest odds are off the top of my head, but this is a season that you're going to have somebody that just barely gets into the tournament and they're going to win it all. You're going to have a team like the Wichita State Shockers to go to the Final Four and win it all. You're going to have a team like Northern Iowa or how about Harvard? Harvard receiving top 25 votes. Let those don't let those bad boys in. That zone will kill you. But guys, I will start releasing my top 10. I'm not going to release a top 25 by any means because I watch basketball avidly, but I'm not watching San Diego State play. I'm not standing up till 2 a.m. to watch a West Atlantic Conference, a WAC, or was it WCC or whatever conference they're in the Mountain West, I should say. Like, I'm not staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning to watch them play a Wyoming team and win by 40. It's pointless. I think they're going to be a second round exit team anyways. It doesn't matter how good they are right now or how high they are ranked. I'm not going to watch the Rutgers play. Yes, I did watch them play Saturday. Who'd they play? Was it Indiana that they played? I mean, I wasn't ingrained in that game. I was passively watching it. I'm sorry. It was Indiana that I saw them play. Indiana's another good basketball program and another solid program. But guys, I'm going to give you my top 10 right here, right off the bat. So I do like the Baylor Bears. They are my number one team. If March Madness were to start right now, I think they would win. My top 10 is not going to be who is hot right now or the trending team or whatever. I'm going to base my top 10 of how the teams that I think would be the top 10. Let's do top 8 for Elite 8 purposes. No. Top 10. Number 1, I'm going to go with Baylor. I think Baylor is a championship caliber team. Yes, they had one early season loss, I believe it was to Auburn or something. But that Big 12 is going to be tough. They're going to be battle tested. So once it comes to March, they know what to do. Number 2, I got to go with Kansas. The only reason why Kansas isn't number 1 right now is because Baylor beat them earlier in the season. Watch out, fans. Kansas and Bill Self is going to make a run this year. That pains me to say as a Wildcat fan, but I think they're going to make a run. Number 2, I got to go with Kansas. Number 3, I like Louisville. Louisville is a solid team. Yes, they lost to my Kentucky Wildcats. Yes, they lost to what game did they lose earlier this week? Let me pull up the schedule here. Oh, that was last week. They did lose 2 in a row to Kentucky and to Florida State. But then they've rattled off four in a row, and they beat a very good Duke team. So I would have to put them up at number 3. So I got Baylor, Kansas, and then Louisville. And then this is where my like the water started getting a little murky for me. Number 4, I got to put Gonzaga. I've only seen them play a couple games, but the games that I did see them play, I like what they had out there on the court. Number 5, I got to go Duke Blue Devils. Even though they lost to Louisville, Duke is still going to be a good team come to March. You can't count out Duke whatsoever. Number 6, I got Michigan State. Never count out Tom Izzo. Number 7, I got to go with Oregon. I've for some reason Oregon has always had to have a soft spot in my heart. I've always kind of liked what Oregon has done. Number 8, I'm going to go with Butler. Number 9, Villanova. I like what they're doing out there. They've built kind of a dynasty. And sliding into my top 10, I got to go Seton Hall. Seton Hall was slept on last year. Kentucky took a lot of slack last year when they lost to Seton Hall in the regular season. But then Seton Hall's been doing good things, guys. They beat Butler. They beat Maryland. They beat Iowa State. They played them twice. That's weird. Beat them once, lost to them once. But regardless, guys, look out for Seton Hall. Like I told you that I think Wichita State right now will win the championship just because I think everything will line up good for them. But this is the year of the underdog. This is the year that you do not want to let a hot team in. So a team that's like 18 and 16 slides in as like a 12 seed, you don't want to play that team. Now a team that's like, I don't know, like San Diego State, they go, 30-0 or whatever it is, 32-0. That's the team that you want to play. So let's look at some games that are happening here on Tuesday night. You have my Kansas State Wildcats. Come on, load up for me here. Got my Kansas State Wildcats taking on the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks at 7 p.m. East Coast time. Unfortunately, guys, I like Kansas in this game. When you're making picks, you cannot pick with your heart. You got to pick with your head. Kansas is a better team than Kansas State. Yes, I know Kansas State had a big win over West Virginia, but previously, before that, they lost like 4 or 5 in a row. It is what it is. Next game I'm going to pick here, you have number 13 Butler take on number 9 Villanova. This is a great, intriguing game. If this wasn't on at 7 o'clock the same time as my other games, I would be watching this game 100%. I got to go with Butler on the road. I like them. I like Butler. I like Butler a lot. Georgia travels to number 15 Kentucky. I take Kentucky. There's no doubt about that. Next up, Illinois is taking on Purdue. I'm taking the upset. I like Purdue at home. I've always liked Purdue for some reason. They have the soft spot in my heart, just like Oregon. Now there's Wichita State at South Florida. I will be tuning into this game. I will have this game playing on my phone while the Kentucky game is going on. I'm flipping back and forth between the KU and Kansas State game. I like Wichita State, but I am really intrigued at how this game is going to play out. Then if you are late now, at 11 p.m., you have San Diego State taking on Wyoming. Clearly, San Diego State's going to win that one. I don't think it's even going to be close, to be honest with you. So, college basketball, guys, college basketball is always intriguing, especially in late January going into February. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun here. So let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit here. Talk about Major League Baseball. They were in the headlines last week, last show for us, about the whole cheating scandal, the people wanting to vacate, and so let me talk about that a little bit. Let me refresh everybody's memories here. The Houston Astros have officially been, quote, caught by stealing signs. Carlos Beltran, is that his name? was hired on as the Mets manager, has been forced to step down / fired from his position for being basically the only player named in stealing signs. So a little bit of background of what has happened. Basically, the Houston Astros was using the replay technology to steal pitching signs. When they knew an off-speed pitch was coming, they would make noise in the dugout to give the hitters advantage. Okay, cool. Guys, I've been on record saying this. And I'm not going to back down from the position whatsoever. Baseball is a game of cheating. Let me repeat that. Baseball is a game of cheating. It doesn't matter that they're using technology to cheat now. It doesn't matter if they have a coach sitting on the bench looking at the third base coach out there trying to steal signs, like the base running signs. This is what baseball is. If you're not playing in the gray area in baseball, you are not winning world champions. You are not making it to the Major League Baseball. Just face it, baseball is such a hard sport to get into, and it is the hardest thing to do is to play baseball. So I'm not mad at the Houston Astros for using stuff that was at their disposal to you can say, quote, cheat, because there was nothing in the rule book saying that you could not use technology to steal signs. I mean, the only reason why this is a big deal is because they happened to get caught, and they're the only team that's got caught. I guarantee you that all 30 baseball teams in Major League was doing this same thing. If they weren't, there's a reason why they were 20 and 100, or like 120 and 30 or whatever. My Kansas City Royals, I should say, or the Cincinnati Reds. How about that? How about that one for you Cincinnati fans? Guys, everybody in the Major League Baseball was doing this. Face it. Just like when the whole steroid era was, Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa weren't the only ones doing that, or Jose Canseco. Everybody was doing it. They just happens to be the ones that were the big names and, quote, got caught. Just because you're the biggest and the baddest and the fastest doesn't mean you're on steroids. I guarantee you there was pitchers that were on steroids. Or I'm not going to put any names on it by whatsoever, but I mean, Cal Ripken, he has the streak of the most Major League Baseball games in a row. Are you telling me he was not on something? Guys, think about that. Let's just talk about Cal Ripken a little bit. I don't really remember the exact numbers, but it was over 2,000 games straight that he played. That means he woke up in the morning, put on his baseball uniform, and played at least a couple innings of baseball for 2,000 straight games, 2,000 plus straight games. Yes, I know you have an off season to recover, quote, off season and whatnot. You have one day off a week, whatever. But let me ask you this for you comment people. When's the last time you called in sick to work? Have you worked 2,000 straight days in a row? No. So, come on now. It's a very I'm not trying to tarnish his legacy whatsoever, but you get the gist of it. Cheating is what makes baseball exciting, guys. Think about this. When we were in the steroid era and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were going back and forth for the 62 home runs, everybody was tuned into it. Everybody was checking it out. We were excited to watch. It was must-see TV. When the Houston Astros were dominating people on their 2017 championship run, it was exciting to watch, wasn't it? People don't like baseball because it's so long. I get it. Make it exciting. Cheating is encouraged in baseball. Face it. If you're not playing the gray area, you're losing. There's no question about it. But then I saw a survey this weekend while I was watching NFL go across the ticker at the bottom of the screen. It was like 57% of fans want the Astros to vacate their national title. This is after that Major League Baseball has found. I mean, they found wrongdoing, but there is no wrongdoing. So they're saying, yeah, that's bad, but hey, good job on the win. But fans want them to vacate their championship. Why? I guarantee you that probably 20% of those people that voted does it. So of the 57% that voted that they wanted to vacate their world championship, 20% of them probably are real baseball fans. The other 37 have no idea what the average. They're a casual viewer. They tune in April, watch opening day, maybe watch a couple games, maybe catch a game here, now or there. Then in October, rolls around at their teams, and we're a big baseball fan that their team's not in. Oh, it's basketball season. Oh, it's football season. So that poll was just absolutely stupid that I saw. 100% stupid. 100% just. I don't even know what to say about that. So they can stop doing these polls. It's stupid. The only reason why it is news is because the Astros won. The only reason why people know about it is because somebody did not get a big deal. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. But basically the Astros basically cut him. And then he's like, oh, but you guys did this, and I'm going to go tell the world you better get my contract. And they said, well, fuck you. And this is where we're at. Major League Baseball found no wrongdoing whatsoever. It doesn't matter. NASCAR is coming. February 2nd, I do believe. Let me look that up to be certain, but we are getting into racing season here now that football season is wrapping up. XFL season is starting here in a couple weeks as well. If you guys are looking for some XFL podcasts here, sportstalkchannel.com is where they'll be at. I haven't heard of anybody else doing XFL. We got it coming for you. If you guys are here, listen on the podcast form, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're out there on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Also on sportstalkchannel.com, where they're live 10 to 11 p.m. at night. A couple replays in the morning as well. Our phone lines are always open, guys. 502-771-0364. If you want to catch us during a live show, jump on Facebook as well. Just for Clicks Facebook page, jump on there. Share that with a couple friends. Feel free to call into the show. It's good times. Guys, that's going to be it for today's show. Thank you guys for joining me. Join me tomorrow. We're going to talk more NFL. I mean, we have to basically, talk football until it is no longer football season.
Hey,
right?
Thanks for tuning in to Just for Clicks. Michael Buckeister. Tune in next time once again for Just for Clicks.
Hey out there in TV and radio land, this is Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, filmed and produced out of Village Connection Broadcasting every Thursday from 8:05 to 9 p.m. And we're excited as hell to tell you that we'll be on the Sports Talk channel, drive time 4 to 5. Catch us there.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ben, a.k.a. BS3, from the Weekend Wrap-Up Show. And on this show, we recap the sports from the weekend, from Major League Baseball to UFC to swimming. Probably not. But it's a great show. We recap the sports, movies, whatever it may be from the weekend. Also, we have something special called the Benny Awards to the top performers of the weekend. And you can find this show on Sports Talk Channel.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to On and Off the Field with your host, Dylan Moran. Enjoy the show.
If you want sports news that's real, If you want sports brought to you with passion and excitement, then tune into Championship Circle, found on Spotify, iTunes, sportstalkchannel.com, and any other sports platform, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time with your host, Cordell Bowser. Check it out. Championship Circle. Sports real and raw.
Do you like college football? Of course you do. Do you like college basketball? Of course you do. Do you like the NFL? And do you like in-depth coverage on a lot of other things like basketball, pro wrestling? Of course you do! Check us out at the Playmakers Blog Podcast, featuring Darnell the Playmaker Solins and yours truly, Dallas Glenn. We're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and now SportsTalkChannel.com.
Hello, you're listening to On and Off the Field, hosted by yours truly, Dylan Moran. Enjoy the show.
If you're looking for a sports hosting show that gives you the flavor, that brings the energy, that isn't about
this or that, it ain't this or that,
then you've come to the right place.
I am that man, your man, the illustrious tour guide Cole Johnson.
Cole Sports! 7 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Saturday on SportsStarChannel.com.
So you like sports, do you? What if I told you that I got some fire for real that will give you the modern spin on your dad's sportscast? Well, it's the Benchwarmer Show, and you can listen to it each and every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard on Sports Talk Channel on Spreaker. Benchwarmers has the funniest hosts in Terry, the Guru, and Leeds.
I think you have a tape of WD-40.
What defense like a vegan running from cage? I give you all of the commentary on these,
40, inside the 30,
and those.
Checks down the Joe.
So tune in so you don't miss a thing. They're waiting for you, benches.
Good news, mixed martial arts fans. Your favorite MMA podcast is now right here on Sports Talk Channel. Each week, join me, Aaron Weinbaum, as I pick the most anticipated fights from the UFC, Bellator, and more. Remember, I'm a hardcore MMA fight fan, just like you. Miss some of the action? Go to AaronSaysWhat.com, click on the MMA Fight Picks tab, and find your favorite way to catch up.
Hey, this is the franchise Shane Douglas, ECW's original World Heavyweight Champion. Right now, you're watching the #1 wrestling podcast on all of Long Island, Monty and the Pharaoh, right here. Don't miss it. That's your choice. Or get your ass franchised.
You've got the future Hall of Famer, that rocker, Marty Jannetty, MJ in the house, and I'm sitting here with two more future Hall of Famers, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're doing that stuff and we gonna rock it.
Yo, come check us out. It's Coach G from The Assist. Let you know you can tune in to us at The Assist every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at SportsTalkChannel.com from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to give you that real spill, keeping it to you raw. Also, if you don't want to hear from me, come check out our other squad, 24/7 round the clock. We kicking it to you real spill, baby.
What's up, sports junkies? I'm Dylan Moran, and I'm your host of On and Off the Field. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to it.
Hey, everybody. Do you love pro wrestling? Do you love interviews of your favorite wrestlers, past and present? Well, wait no longer. Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, have been added to Sports Talk Channel. That's right. Every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. Don't miss it. Be there.
If you're looking for a sports hosting show that gives you the flavor, that brings the energy, that isn't about
this or that, it ain't this or that,
then you've come to the right place.
I am that man, your man, the illustrious tour guide Cole Johnson.
Cole Sports! 7 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Saturday on SportsStarChannel.com.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Jay coming from the Assist Podcast Show, letting y'all know that we will be on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on sportstalkchannel.com from 8 to 9 o'clock. So tune in and see what we got to talk about. Also, if y'all tired of hearing us talk, it's also a lot of great acts that you can go listen to. So make sure y'all check them out 24/7.
Hey, welcome to The Bench. Do you want the livest and funniest sports talk entertainment? Well, have I got something for you. Join me, Lise Winnie, and Terry Little, the Guru, on The Benchwarmer Show on the Sports Talk channel on Spreaker each and every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. So you can get your sports talk with a big dose of comedy all the way from the bench. It's The Benchwarmer Show, benches. So you like sports, do you? What if I told you that I got some fire for real that will give you the modern spin on your dad's sportscast? Well, it's the Benchwarmer Show, and you can listen to it each and every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard on Sports Talk Channel on Spreaker. Benchwarmers has the funniest hosts in Terry, the Guru, and Leeds.
I think you have to pay for WD-40.
What defense like a vegan running from kids? Give you all of the commentary on these
Inside the 30.
and those.
Checks down to Jones.
So tune in so you don't miss a thing. They're waiting for you, benches.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Jay coming from the Assist Podcast Show, letting y'all know that we will be on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on sportstalkchannel.com from 8 to 9 o'clock. So tune in and see what we got to talk about. Also, if y'all tired of hearing us talk, it's also a lot of great acts that you can go listen to. So make sure y'all check them out 24/7.
Live, raw, uncut, and uncensored. It's just for clicks. Featuring your host, Michael Buckeister.
And welcome to Just for Clicks, guys. This is Michael Buckeister. This is live, raw, and uncut sports talk here on this beautiful Monday night. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Great divisional championship games. Chiefs topped the Titans. 49ers passed the Packers. Pun intended there, passed the Packers. Jimmy G had a total of, 9 passes in a game or something ridiculous like that. But, guys, that is not what we're going to talk about today. I lied. That is exactly what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into anything else, if you guys are new here, consider liking the Facebook page, Just for Clicks Facebook page. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio as well, and the new and improved sportstalkchannel.com. We are on there right now. So, guys, follow those podcasts, those websites, if you would. That'd be great. But before we get into today's show here, we are going to do This Day in Sports. I've missed this on a couple other shows, and I apologize for that. But we are going to get back in this train over and over here. On this day and back in 1967, Philadelphia 76ers center Wilt Chamberlain makes all 15 of his field goal attempts in a 119-108 win over the LA Lakers. At the time, this was an NBA record for consecutive shots made, beats marked twice before in the 1966 and 67 seasons. I am currently in a debate with some people saying that Wilt Chamberlain is the best player of all time over Oscar Robertson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, etc. I really cannot make an intelligent statement on that, to be honest with you guys. I was not around when Wilt Chamberlain was playing. I could solely base my opinions off of highlights that I've seen in past lives. Well, not past lives, but on YouTube and ESPN, etc. So, congratulations to Wilt Chamberlain on this day. So, good shout out to him. So now let's get into the news of the day, the week, for the next 2 weeks. The Kansas City Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl for the first time in over 50 years. Since Super Bowl IV, 1970. So it's been quite a while. 50 years since they have made it to the big game. And let's go ahead and talk about this game a little bit here. The Kansas City Chiefs, once again, they dropped down to a double-point deficit quickly in the game. Greg Joseph kicks a 30-yard field goal for the Tennessee Titans to take a quick 3-0 lead. This is the first drive of the game. Kansas City Chiefs go 3-and-out. Big drop pass by Kelsey. Again, this is 2 games in a row that he's had 2 big drops on the first drive of the game. Give the Titans the ball back. And, of course, they give the ball to Derrick Henry. 9 plays, 58 yards to finish off the drive with a Derrick Henry 4-yard run. Greg Joseph kick. 10-0. Now, as a Kansas City Chiefs fan right now, I am questioning my life. I'm like, are we going to let the Tennessee Titans go up 24 points on us again, and we're going to have to make a comeback? Because 10 points I'm okay with. 13 points I'm okay with. 14 points I'm okay with. But 17-0, I am, as a Chiefs fan, I would be, I am a Chiefs fan, but I would be questioning life at this point. We are going to really give this away again, the AFC Championship game, but at least we didn't have D4 to line up offside. So that is a positive. But then the Kansas City Chiefs answer back with a 10-play, 74-yard yards of their own with the Tyreek Hill touchdown. It was a little touch pass. It was basically a reverse with the push pass that they like to run nowadays. Tyreek Hill running at 4.1, 4.2 speed, whatever he has, hits 25 miles an hour for 8 yards and gets in the end zone. 10-7 score. I'm okay with this. But then the Tennessee Titans turn around and score again. Another 15-play drive, another milking of the clock, 75 yards. This drive was 9 minutes long. Ryan Tannehill did throw a touchdown pass, a 1-yard little touchdown pass. Makes it 17-7. I'm okay with this. Because as a Chiefs fan, we saw it last week, down 24 points. Our offense is starting to show some life, yada, yada, yada. And then we just go dry. We are the best second quarter team in the NFL, and we just can't find it. We cannot find it at all. Luckily, Tyreek Hill comes to the rescue again. 5 plays, 63-yard drive, couple minutes off the clock, 20-yard pass. Makes it 17-14, I should say. Tennessee Titans winning. I'm okay with this, I think. Then it gets to all the way through the second quarter. It's a drought. I am not confident 17-14 going into halftime. Or I should say 24-14 going into halftime. Tennessee Titans are driving down the field. Luckily, the defense finally steps up and makes a big stop. Patrick Mahomes drives down the field with 10 or 7 seconds left in the first half. Makes an amazing run. Puts the Chiefs on top 21-17. At that point, I knew the game was over. Patrick Mahomes flexes his little flabby arms in the end zone. He has put this team on his back, and he is ready to just have a great second half. So our second quarter might come in the third quarter. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't. Third quarter, both teams blank. So it is 21-17 going into the fourth quarter. I'm confident, but I'm uneasy. Yes, I did tell you this is exactly how the game was going to go. I thought it was going to be 28-24 going to midway into the fourth quarter. Chiefs put on a couple late touchdowns, but clearly that is, I'm pretty close to right on. But Damian Williams, to start the fourth quarter, plunges it into the end zone for a 3-yard run, makes it 28-17. Basically, the Chiefs don't look back at it at that point. Very next drive, Tennessee Titans go 3-and-out in the fourth quarter. Then the Chiefs start to Tennessee Titans, the Titans, meaning they have put
family
in some
announcement. Our smart home is online.
Cool, Dad.
Yeah, smart lights, smart fridge, smart thermostat. The smart speaker plays music or answers questions like this. Check it out. Question: What animals besides humans have chins?
Can't find home internet. Super impressive, Dad.
Okay, hold on. Question, can you find the home internet?
Can't find home internet.
Ha! Smart house!
Your home is only as smart as your internet. Get fast, reliable internet with AT&T Fiber, even during peak times. Find out how to get 300 megabits per second for $40 a month for a year. Limited availability. May not be in your area. See if you qualify at att.com/fiber300. Reliability based on network availability. Consistency based on wired connection to gateway. $10 per month equipment fee applies. Speeds not guaranteed and vary. Early termination and other charges and restrictions apply. Visit att.com/fiber300 for details.
So Patrick Mahomes might break the bank. Cole Sports presents On the Daily.
Welcome to Cole Sports. You have entered the zone called sports on another level. And now, here's your host, Cole Johnson.
Spike, you're too good to me. Cole Johnson on the mic. On the Daily is on its way, and the RTL Sports Network thanks you, and I thank you. And it's time to get going as we drink coffee together and talk sports. Topic of the day, please. So that was a Super Bowl commercial that featured Tom Brady. But let me rewind a little bit. We saw a tweet where it was just an ominous picture of Brady. It's a black and white photo in Gillette Stadium. And you saw him at the entrance, or I should say the exit from the field or the entrance to the field. But since he was facing the inner bowels of Gillette Stadium, the exit from the stadium, the outward stadium, you saw the silhouette of him and the camera is brought back. So it was led to assume that people speculated, and Brady got what he wanted. He ended up getting people talking about him. Is he going? Is he leaving? Is he going somewhere else? And of course, we heard that he's shopping for houses and looking for, and I should say, studying on school systems around the country. Yeah, it is on. I mean, I live in Nashville and they were here. Tom, Giselle, his wife, and his children, they were here looking for houses here. Heard that they were looking for some out in LA. And I heard that a dark horse was also the Bucks as well. And so he was probably looking for some houses in Tampa. Who knows? Who cares? And I don't say that in a callous manner. I say it in a manner of, well, I mean, he's 42. He'll be 43 when the season begins. You know, let him have his peace, and he finds his way. He'll find where he wants to go. So back to that commercial. That photo that we saw on Twitter was basically nothing more than a setup for a Hulu commercial. And in the commercial, shot all in black and white, he's walking in the main stadium area on the field. And he alludes to his impending retirement or his leaving the Patriots. Doesn't say a team. And then he mentions Hulu. And at the end of the commercial, he says, oh, as for me, I'm not going anywhere. Nice commercial, really is. But Brady, he could have set the internet on fire with the fact that he had this black and white photo of himself. And it's funny how you have this opinion and how things can form just by a certain image or picture. I mean, it got his, well, current, former teammate, ? Julian Edelman guessing too, and he told The Atlantic the following. Quote, "This is just me thinking out loud. I don't know by any means, but hey, maybe he's putting a little heat on, the team. Or he's putting heat on the free agency market." Close quote. Well, whatever he's putting the heat on, he's putting the heat on quite nicely. Because the scuttlebutt and speculation has been running absolutely rampant. And if a TV commercial for the Super Bowl would actually drum up this much interest, just imagine what would be if he were to say, "I no longer want to be a Patriot." That is something he hasn't said, but he has said he wanted to test out the market, which he should, because he's never been a free agent in his 19 going on 20 years as an NFL quarterback. Now, on Sunday, Brady was talking on Westwood One, and he was talking about the Hulu commercial, and he says his children got a big kick out of it. Well, I'll let him explain it. Quote, "I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. My daughter loved it. She says to me, 'Daddy, we're not going anywhere. I thought it was so cute.'" Close quote. And it's amazing to me that he now has put it out there that, okay, let's see what teams are going to be really serious and wanting me, starting with the Patriots. And it was leaked out, I believe, yesterday that teams were willing to, or I should say the Patriots were willing to sign him for $30 million a year. The small slight issue, well, I should say small slight issues, would be that there are other quarterbacks who are getting paid more and more on the horizon who are going to be seeking more than $30 million. Dak Prescott's one. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes is going to be another. And I'm sure when its time comes to Deshaun Watson will be another as well. So you have that, and then you have your other quarterbacks like Jared Goff of the Rams and Russell Wilson of the Seahawks, who've been broken off a good chunk of cheddar, and Carson Wentz in Philly. So Brady is testing out the free agent market. This is the first time he's done it, and it looks like he's loving it. It looks like he is loving free agent life. The fact that I think he has the ability to choose where he wants to live and do what he wants to do, I think that's a comforting thing for him. And this Brady Watch 2020 is going to go completely bonkers. And it will definitely drum up more interest in the free agent market with him and Drew Brees in the market with him come next month. Because that will heat up everything in the free agent market. And along with Rivers now, he's also in the bidding wars as well, because the Chargers and him officially have moved on from one another. What do I believe? I think Brady's going to stay put. He's going to be where he is. He's going to stay where he is. And I think he should stay where he is. I mean, he can go to other teams and be well within his right, but it would be like Unitas being with the Chargers, or the Namath with the Rams, or Montana with the Chiefs. It just doesn't quite fit. Or even Emmitt Smith with the Cardinals. It just doesn't fit. But I get it. I mean, they feel as though they have extra time to play. They have the juice. They have the energy. They have the oomph. Why not? And the team is saying, we think your time is up. I totally get that. I totally get that. And I think teams will be a little more gun shy to do this, like what happened with Peyton Manning with the Colts. They gave up on him after sitting out a full year. And then once he was back from his neck fusion surgery, he was released by the Colts. He signed with the Broncos, and he took the Broncos to 2 Super Bowls and won 1. So teams want to avoid that. But can they? Can they effectively avoid it? And with Brady, what is his end game? I mean, he has 6 rings. Is it the fact that he could play somewhere? Is it that he wants to win a ring? Is it a combination of both? Is it he wants to get away from the Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick system of doing things? Or is this leverage for him to get exactly what he wants from the organization that has had him for almost 2 decades? He'll be entering his 20th year this year. So there's a lot of questions that will be answered, but just like that Twitter photo of him in the shadows, rest assured you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of doubt being planted and supplanted in people's minds. And that's the topic of the day. When I return, we're going to turn our attention to the NBA. And we're not talking Kobe. Be right back. What did you think of the Super Bowl? What do you also think about the upcoming All-Star game and the way they have it set up? Cole would like to hear from you. Call the Cole Sports Hotline at area code 615-988-5196. That's 615-988-5196. And he will be glad to air what you have to say or do what you ask him to do. It's just that simple. 615-988-5196. We want to hear from you, VIP, because you're very important. Welcome back to On the Daily, and I sort of get a laugh out of this story because of the person that it is. Now, I don't have any issues with Clint Capella. I like the guy. He hard worker and he fits the role that suits a guy like a James Harden or probably even a Russell Westbrook too well. He's a guy you don't have to run the play for. All you have to do is run pick and rolls all day, and he could just slide off the pick and rolls, and he can receive lobs all day. Simple. But there was a report that leaked out that the owner of the Rockets, Tillman Fertitta, said that he was looking to lower his salary under the salary cap because he didn't want to pay luxury tax. And that's something that he has said ever since he took over as governor of the NBA's Rockets. And so it's going to be quite difficult to do that when you have contracts like James Harden's, who is going to be paid $40 million in a year. contracts like Russell Westbrook, who will also get paid $40 million as well. Then there's contracts like Clint Capella's. Now, he was looking to shop his wares in the free agent market after 2018. He found that there was really no other team that wanted his price tag, because if not mistaken, his price tag was 5 years, $100 million. That's what he wanted. The closest that he came before the Rockets re-signed him was, I think it was 5 years, $60 million from the Suns. So the Rockets signed him for 5 years, $90 million. And I shook my head then. I shake my head now. That's just too much money. But they still thought he was worth being on the team. Well, it looks like they want to trade him now. And so they put Mr. Capella out there on the trade market. Now, the deadline is Thursday. The trade deadline for the NBA is Thursday. And they're shopping him to any team in the East that wants the price tag. Any team in the East. And it looks like it's probably going to be like a 3-way deal, because that contract is real lengthy. Okay, let me give you an understanding as to the contract that that a team is going to take on. This year, he will make close to $15 million. Next year, it will be $16 million. In 2022, it will be $17 million, over $17 million. 2023, it will be over $18 million. And this is coming from a guy who averages 14 points, 14 rebounds, and close to 2 block shots a game. Good for a serviceable player, an all-star, or your number one option. Nah. Now, if you want defense, he's your guy. Good shot blocker. And you don't run plays for him. At least Mike D'Antoni doesn't run any plays for him, which I still think is ludicrous and completely out of bounds. They should run plays for a guy who has had height advantage over many different people in the post, but I digress. So the Rockets are trying to trade Capella to an Eastern Conference team. More than likely, it's going to be a 3-way deal. And this 3-way deal would allow, or it could allow, the Rockets to nab the draft access to get an impact wing player, which, quite frankly, they've been lacking. They've had some great guards. I mean, they have great guards now. Maybe not elite in terms of skill, but they can fill the hole up with buckets. You have Harden, you have Westbrook, you have Gordon. I mean, right now, those are your 3 best players on the team. All of them are guards. They miss a presence like a Trevor Ariza, but they need a wing who can score too. And the reason why I say that is I think Harden is starting to hit a brick wall with his shots because he's having putrid shooting nights. And Westbrook, well, any night he steps foot on the court, he has a putrid shooting night. When he shoots over 50%, it actually is cause for celebration. That is how bad Westbrook's shooting percentage is. Now, the teams that are interested in Capella are the Hawks. Now, they've shown interest in upgrading their center position, and they have talked with Houston about Capella. The Hawks have also been in talks with the Thunder about their center, Steven Adams. Now, picture that. You have the big man, Capella, in the center. You have Trae Young, who he's blossoming into a wonderful point guard. That might be a really good match. And Capella could be a really good last line of defense. So the possibilities are there for it to work wonders. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski talked a little further about this. And he said, quote, sources, the Atlanta Hawks remain a possible landing spot for Capella as well. The Rockets are pursuing first-round picks to flip it to a deal for a wing player and another center. Robert Covington and Andre Iguodala are among several Houston targets. ESPN sources. Another team engaged with the Rockets in trade talks for center Clint Capella, the Boston Celtics. Close quote. Now, Houston at current leads their division. And they've won 3 out of their last 4 games, including getting W's over teams that are right around them, the Jazz and the Mavericks. And you have the guard tandem of Westbrook and Harden, who have the bulk of the scoring load. The problem with that is, as much as you have great action in the backcourt, the wing has been hurting hard. They just haven't found the right person for what they need. Now, here's what might hang up Houston in terms of trading Capella to the Celtics. As at Bobby Marks 42 has pointed out. Quote, Boston has 3 ones in June, would need to send out $10 million of salary in a Clint Capella deal. Close quote. Ones meaning first round draft picks, and they're projected to be pick number 26, pick number 30, and pick number 17. Those are the 3 number 1s that the Boston Celtics have. And the Rockets would like to flip at least one of those, or at least get at least one of those. Look, I'm fine with them keeping Capella, but I just know that they need to juggle in terms of money and monetary value, something. It's interesting. I really do find it interesting. Here is a team that is in need of something, and they just handicap themselves. But, I mean, if they can find somebody for Capella and they can get that person like Iguodala on the team, all the better. I don't think they're going to get him. But have at it. When I come back on the other side, we're going to discuss a Super Bowl for not really the ages. That halftime show, though, was. But coming up next, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl MVP and his future impact on his current team. You're listening to the classiest sports show on the planet, part of the Cole Sports brand on the Daily. You have something that you want to say to Cole? Well, say it with your chest. Go to speakpipe.com/Cole Sports with a Z. It's simple. Record, speak, send, repeat. Record, speak, send. It's just that simple. Get your take off. We'll play it on air if you like. We won't play it on air if you like. We want to hear what you have to say. So go to speakpipe.com/Cole Sports with a Z. Record, speak, send. We've reached the bottom of the hour. Cole Sports here. Cole Johnson here on The Daily is the show that you're listening to. Many thanks to the RTS Sports Network. We appreciate you. Thank you for this morning cup of joe that you're sharing with me, as we always do at 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Saturday. RTSSportsNetwork.com, that's where you'll find this show on the radio. So happy to be part of the family. And let's get into it, shall we? So the Chiefs beat the 49ers 31-20 to claim their first Super Bowl in 50 years. And the MVP, Patrick Mahomes, let's be quite brutal here. He was horrible for the first 3.5 quarters. He was missing throws right and left, and even threw a wounded duck with the 44-yard pass he completed to Tyreek Hill that, to me, started him on his way to that epic comeback in being the guy who led the Chiefs to be the first team in the Super Bowl era, at least, to win all 3 of their playoff games after trailing by double digits in all 3 of them. Well, it is almost a worst kept secret that Mahomes is going to be broken off some cheddar. No question about that. He's going to get his money. The question is, how much are the Chiefs willing to pay him? The Chiefs want number 15 to be a regular fixture on their squad. And who wouldn't? He won the MVP the year before after dazzling the league in his first full year, throwing for 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. I mean, just think about it. Even the great Dan Marino didn't do that. And that guy in his second year was absolutely remarkable and outstanding. The biggest concern the Chiefs have in their offseason will be the contract extension talks, which will take place between themselves and Mahomes. As Mahomes plays in next season, it will be the final year of his rookie deal. And I think there is almost no question that the team is going to exercise their 5th-year option. It shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even be mentioned. Here's the thing, and I think here's the tricky part. Most teams, if they know that they have a future with somebody, most definitely quarterback, they're looking to lock that guy down as quickly as possible so that there's nothing which will linger. You won't put a doubt in the QB's head that you believe he is the guy who's going to lead your team to where Mahomes had led this year's, or I should say last year's, Kansas City Chiefs team to hoist the Lombardi Trophy as he and the other 52 guys did Sunday. There's nothing that speaks to a quarterback's soul quite like when he knows the team wants him there. And that is where the Chiefs are, and that's where Mahomes is. We pretty much know Mahomes likes where he is, and we pretty much know the Chiefs like Mahomes. So now, what is the price tag? Well, no matter the price tag, it almost is going to be a foregone conclusion that Mahomes will be the highest paid player in NFL history when the deal is inked. After all, you can't have the Rams quarterback Jared Goff get $110 million guaranteed with the season he just had. And you can't with a straight face say, okay, we'll slide something a little less than that in a guy who, unlike Goff, has won the MVP and won a Super Bowl. And quite frankly, the trend for franchise quarterbacks, huge paydays. Look at Carson Wentz for the Eagles. Look at Russell Wilson for the Seahawks. Look at the aforementioned Jared Goff of the Rams. And then before that, look at Kirk Cousins of the Vikings when he left the NFL franchise based in Washington. The Brinks truck rolled $84 million to his doorstep. So QBs are looking to get broken off that paper. And Mahomes is going to get his money. No doubt about it. He's going to get his money. Here's the issue. As with any contract of that size, with a quarterback that is worth it, or any player that's worth it, there may be other needs which may either get ignored and that player would have to leave, or they would have to take pay cuts out the wazoo. Because with the Chiefs, Mahomes isn't the only one who's looking for long-term security and a big-time payday. Look at the defensive tackle Chris Jones, who he was worth his weight, and I do mean that figuratively and literally, in the fourth quarter when the Chiefs just shut the 49ers offense down, batting a couple of passes that Garoppolo threw. So, I mean, you have those contracts. You will probably have even a couple others coming as well. So the Chiefs have to have that one eye on Mahomes and then the other eye on the rest of the team in terms of meeting all of their needs. And of course, the way the NFL is designed, you're not going to financially meet every player's needs. You'll have to sign some and sacrifice others. That just is the lay of the land. With the Chiefs, it'll be no different. Now, the piece that probably will be missing sometime soon will be the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy. Now, in this head coaching cycle, he was passed up, and it challenged us and challenged the NFL to either do away with, tweak, or just simply say straight up out loud that the Rooney Rule is a farce. Now, I think what might hurt Bieniemy is he's not the one who calls plays, because that's what Andy Reid does. But he is instrumental in crafting the weekly game plan alongside Reid. What I foresee is the Chiefs are going to probably have to sign him, Mahomes, and they're going to have to give up some pieces. And it may be a piece they wouldn't want to see go, like a Tyreek Hill, like a Tyrann Mathieu, but I know Honey Badger is locked down for at least 2 more years. Like a Fred Clark. Not saying he's due anytime soon, but normally when you have those big-time contracts that quarterbacks sign, there's going to be another position that will suffer, and a big-time player will be leaving. That's something that I believe the Chiefs are going to have to do their best to evade, because if they don't, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Because they'll have this big ticket player who has a big time contract, and he has nothing else to show for it besides the one MVP ring the one Super Bowl MVP ring, and one Lombardi trophy. All because he wanted his money and the team couldn't juggle everything else. But rest assured, the Chiefs are thinking about it. And if they're thinking about it, they're going to make sure they take care of him, because I really believe they want to have the understanding that they do not mess over on their players. They don't mess around with them either. That they treat him as a priority. That he is not just the face of the Chiefs, he's the face of the league now. And the face of the league is going to get face of the league type money. After all, you can't have the stellar record he has the last 2 years of getting to the AFC Championship the first year and hoisting the Lombardi the second year, the full year that he started. You have to reward him. And he's going to get rewarded. He's going to get broken off. And I hope he gets broken off and he enjoys it, because he deserves it. And when I return, we're going to talk about another Super Bowl that happened in Miami. Rewind is next. Enjoying this drive this morning? I'm glad you are. And after this show on the RTL Sports Network, we have Snowman in the morning. Join Brian Snow. He talks sports as only he does it. The morning drive with me at 8 a.m. Eastern. Snowman in the morning takes over at 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday on the RTL Sports Network. Now, coming up tomorrow on the Daily, we're going to discuss that man that we don't ever talk about, except for in that segment called Bronze Sexual Confessions. We got a few things to discuss with him. We're going to actually talk about the ridiculous tweaking called the All-Star Game in the NBA. And there'll be other things we'll talk about. And then tune in Thursday, we have on tap something that in the sports world we have to pause that. And on Friday, we're going to write an email to somebody. That's for later on in the week. And then tune in Saturday for Cold Sports at coldsportswithc.com. But for today. Now, this past Super Bowl that was contested in Miami Sunday was not the first that Miami ever hosted. However, it was the first that Miami has hosted in quite some time. Now, if memory serves me correct, the last time they hosted a Super Bowl was the 2009 season. And that was, of course, between the Colts and the Saints. I believe that is the last time Miami hosted the Super Bowl. Well, there was another time they hosted it. And this was the first time Mr. Manning was on the right side of a big time game. The biggest time game. Welcome to Rewind. Super Bowl 41 took place on this date 13 years ago, and there is some symmetry to this. You had two head coaches. Both of them were black or African American. Tony Dungy for the Colts, Lovie Smith, who now is the coach of the Lions, I believe, for the Bears. Of course, Mr. Dungy is one of the personalities on NBC's sports broadcast in the studio leading up to Sunday Night Football. But Smith was, I think he was affiliated with Dungy at one point as a defensive coordinator, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Dungy, of course, was a former Steeler as a player. He was the head coach of the Bucs, took them to the NFC Championship game in 1999. That's about as far as they went with him. But with the players that they got under Dungy's wing, they completed the deal in 2002, beating the brakes off the Raiders. But that was the first year John Gruden coached that team. Well, Dungy went from Tampa to Indianapolis. And he ran into issues. Firstly with the Jets, shutting them out. Then the Patriots getting to them twice. Then if that wasn't bad enough, they had the number 1 seed the year before this Super Bowl happened. Yet they didn't even get out the divisional round because the eventual Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers controlled the whole game, although it was close and a Van Jack field goal that was shanked so far. You probably could have put another goalpost next to it and he would have missed it. So this team was getting the "they can't win the big one" chokers label. And the two main faces, of course, of that would be Dungy, the head coach of the Colts, and then the quarterback Peyton Manning. Enter 2006, where they had an offense that was decent and high-powered enough, but they had an offense that could not stop a cold when it came to the run. In fact, they were ranked dead last. However, the defense righted the ship, and they went to the playoffs, and they locked down the Chiefs' running game because they wanted to run, but they locked their running game down. They locked down the Ravens' running game down in the divisional round, and they locked down any running threat the Patriots had in the AFC Championship game. All leading to this game where they have a good runner in Thomas Brown on the Bears. Now you had a stellar defense. You had Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher in the linebacking core. You had Peanut Tillman. You had him at safety. You had Devin Hester as the corner. However, he was more integral as a punt returner. On offense, it was Rex Grossman and his merry men where the defense crossed their fingers and hoped that the Bears didn't turn over the ball. If they scored 3, it was gravy. If they scored 6, it was a celebration and a half. But a celebration it would have been. The Bears, on opening kickoff by Hester, ran it back, got 6 for the Bears early. And then, quite frankly, after the Muhsin Muhammad touchdown pass from Rex Grossman, the game belonged to the Colts. Now, Manny was no great shakes in that game. He was only 25 or 38 for 247 yards. He threw a pick, was sacked once, threw a touchdown pass, and that touchdown pass was to Reggie Wayne, Hall of Fame finalist. Get him into Hall of Fame. He deserves to be in it. If Harrison's in there, he should be there too. Grossman, pedestrian. 20 of 28, 165 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Now, Thomas Jones helped him out, 15 carries, 112 yards, had a 52-yard long run to help that total out. But, as I said, that game was all, and I do mean all, Colts from the second quarter on. So the final score was really not in doubt, 29 to 17. That was the final score. So, of course, the talk was Dungy gets his first ring as a coach. He has many rings as a player. And Manning gets his first ring 2 weeks after the crowning achievement of his NFL career, beating his arch nemesis Tom Brady in the biggest stage of them all for the AFC for the first time. And Manning happily in the rain of Miami hoisted the Lombardi Trophy in the sky. But even with that wasn't, to me, what stood out. What stood out was one of the best halftime performances I've ever witnessed. But then again, for me, whenever I saw Prince, I knew a show was about to be had, and I was not disappointed. Prince did everything that he would always do. He was his virtuoso guitar self. He was playing the piano. He did a couple of dances, even in the advanced age that he was. He was something else. One of the greatest performers ever live, period. And people talk about his performance to this day, performing Purple Rain in the rain. And the rain didn't deter him one bit. It was like Diana Ross in Central Park back in the 80s when it was a downpour, yet she was still on stage singing her heart out. Hair just hanging straight down, but still it didn't matter to her. She was singing her butt off. Prince was singing and playing his butt off in the rain in Miami. Because, well, it's rare to rain in a Super Bowl game, but it rained in that one. Prince was something else. Peyton won his first of two. Dungy won his first, and I think only as a head coach. Lovey didn't get a chance to knock on that door again. In fact, he got fired after attending 6th season a few years later. But make no mistake, it was history that was made that game. It was history that was made that day, and I really appreciate them, Lovey and Coach Dungy. And I appreciate Prince, because he brought back, to me, hope that you can be an entertaining figure at halftime shows. Yeah. And where was I? Well, I went to the house of one of my coworkers, and there was 2 more coworkers that were joining us. So we played Manning on the side, talked some crap, and ate food, and talked some more crap, and played more Manning, and was highly disgusted as to how the Bears didn't show much fight at all after the first quarter. But it was a good time. And I think nobody rooted for either team. We just wanted to see a good game. We didn't see one, but we saw Prince get info at coldsportswithaz.com. Info at coldsportswithaz.com. And it doesn't matter to me where you listen to me, how you listen to me, or when you do, other than when you're on the RTS Sports Network. But I want you to do these 3 simple things. Love yourself with your whole heart and love your neighbor as yourself. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and even a neighbor to tell a neighbor about this particular program, and enjoy the content. For all of us here at Cold Sports, I'm Cole Johnson, and this is Cold Sports for your audio pleasure and on the daily.
You've been listening to Cole Sports with Cole Johnson.